Coach, talk a little bit about what Smallwood's bringing to the table lately.
Well, we're starting to see the explosion out of him that we've been missing all year. You know, just moving around so much, and now I've been able to focus more in the backfield, and allow him to be a better running back.
Jaremus getting in the end zone at the end. I guess, has he been running a little harder the last few weeks?
Well, for the last 3-4 weeks, I mean, I think the old Jaremus is back. You know, he practicing the way he's playing is what's really encouraging. And I told him for the game, I felt like he was going to pop one. I didn't know it was going to be the last play of the game, but it's good to see him running and better take a load off those guys, better change them up, and better put fresh legs in there. I mean, especially last week. I mean, it was hot. I mean, I don't think I've ever been through a game that hot, especially this late in the year. Being a South Florida guy, I mean, that was some different type of heat.
Any update on Russell at all?
He's ready to go. He'll be out there practicing today, so I mean, we'll have him all back this week, ready to go. He was ready last week, just I didn't play him because he didn't practice, and I didn't think we need him last week for what we had. We got 4 of the guys that was ready to practice, play.
Oklahoma State had some pretty decent run stoppers, but this team you're up against this week, they're outstanding up front, aren't they?
They are. I mean, they very sound. I mean, Coach Patterson probably one of the best defensive guys out there in the country. You know, been consistent playing in spread. You know, he always had that attitude to stop the spread. And the thing with them, you just got to be patient. You got to run the ball. They're very similar to how Oklahoma State has played us last week. Like a lot of movement up the front. You know, the inside guys move on the snap, trying to react to the way the line's blocking. So we got to be patient. We got to do a good job pressing the hole, and we got to do a good job hanging on double teams and coming off up front.
Did you have to say anything to Wendell, or is it just something he did kind of himself?
No, I think Kansas game was a week. We had a long talk about, you know, trusting the run, and probably my fault not playing him back in the backfield enough, you know, just making him force himself to run. Because, you know, you can say it and you can talk about it, but you still got to get back there and get the experience of doing it to be able to react to guys in your face, react to safeties coming down the hole. So I think with him, you know, he's a prideful kid. You know, he's probably one of our smartest football IQ guys on the team. So, you know, he quick to learn from his mistakes, and he always want to get better. And that's the good thing about coaching a kid like him.
What's been your take on this series? Last couple games, first 2 games of Big 12 play, both going into overtime. Obviously very competitive and similar programs overall.
As far as us and TCU?
Yeah, and where they come from the Big East and them out of the Power 5 and now.
Well, just, you know, being outside and being in the last 2 years, I mean, you're talking about two similar programs, you know, who dominated the Mount West. You know, you can pretty much say we dominated the Big East to come to the Big 12 where, you know, Dana been saying it for the longest. You know, nobody really want to hear it, but you got to build depth to be able to play the type of schedule we play week in and week out. I mean, that's the only way to explain it. You know, the experience to get guys to play Big 12 football week in and week out. You know, when you're going against the likes of Oklahoma State, Texas, you know, Kansas State, and then the teams you play. A lot of these coaches have been together for a long time, so the continuity that those guys have as a staff that we started to develop here in West Virginia under Dana.